we've been talking about the ordering and reordering of life. And when we do that, it's so essential for us to have something that guides us. Like the scattershot approach to reorganizing our life is not likely to produce a deeper, more substantial spiritual formation. Right? One of the reasons why something like the Benedictine rule has survived for 1,500 years and has contemporary practicers. Yeah. If we were going to get just a little bit philosophical for a moment, because why wouldn't we?
Exactly.
We'd end up talking about, probably about beauty sooner or later.
Yes.
Because we're looking for the undercurrent of order, the undercurrent of what's calling out to us that just says, order this somehow. But there's no metric for that order, right? There isn't a binary for that order. It's more elusive than that, but it's just as real. So what that got me thinking about, because this is how it works in my silly brain, is it got me thinking about the cave art in Caveau in France. The oldest known human drawn figures, artistic figures, and how that collection of figures has two things about it that are really intriguing on the question of art and belief, art and spirituality. One is that they're hidden from view. They're not on the wall of a temple or whatever. They're buried in this cave. And the other is that they're not figures of the things that people ate. They're not utilitarian pieces of work. They're not there to help you be a better hunter. They are figures of the magnificent. They are figures of the powerful. They are figures of the confounding. And they're figures of sexuality shows up as a mystery in a couple of those figures as well, and some of the human figures and so on. So to me, that's stuff that's all just like pointing to this ongoing human desire or drive to make something that actually enlivens our spirit, that actually makes us, as you said just a moment ago, makes us perk up. What's going on here? I'm drawn to this. You work with 21st century, 20th century art all the time.
Yes.
And you're a person of faith, someone who would engage with something like a 1,500-year-old rule. Can you tell me about the intersection between those just a little bit? You have 5 minutes.
I will try very hard to keep it to 5 minutes. Okay. For those of you who came to my talk on Wednesday about my current project, or one of my current projects, I think that there actually is in popular culture, and I'm defining that very broadly, as movies, TV, books, whatever, comic books, whatever. I think that there is this very interesting and deeply theological conversation going on, or questioning maybe is a way of putting it. Quest, yeah, I'm good with that. I think there's the longing, and we see it reflected in these works. And I think that more often than not, Christian culture, whatever that means,
we just say subculture.
Subculture. Yeah. Oh yeah. Subculture has been more than happy to pull away from the rest of culture and not engage with it. We'll create our own music. We'll create our own movies. We'll create our own books.
Different is dangerous. Same is safe.
Yeah. And that's creating distance, but that also means that we're not participating in some of those conversations or longings that are happening. And I think that we actually have a lot to say. And there might be bad words in that conversation. There might be nudity or violence or whatever. But the willingness to engage with those questions, I think, is really important at this moment in time. So, I've done a lot of work and continue to do a lot of work in this type of area. I'm a staff writer for a local magazine called Area of Effect. It's part of something called Geek House Ministries. It's geek and nerd culture. Some of my friends organize.
You're like a rock star there, aren't you?
I'm totally a rock star. Yes, I am exactly a rock star. There. Yeah. Some of my friends organized a choir to go around Comic-Con last weekend, and they serenaded, people, the celebrities and stuff.
The celebrities are back in therapy this week in LA going, so this thing happened in Winnipeg.
All the celebrities have cell phone video of it, like every single one of them. This is awesome. Dr. Crusher from Star Trek was tweeting about my friends.
That's awesome.
So I've written about zombies and comedy and what else? Orphan Black. It's just stuff that I like, that I'm interested in. I've done a couple podcasts for them.
Did we partly step out of this conversation, Michael? Because somewhere along the line, and we're not going to talk about where along the line this morning, because then we just really wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, we decided that our quest was over.
I think so.
To really cut things up, to really truncate a complex thing.
Yeah, I blame the Protestant Reformation, actually, as with so many things.
It's easy target, yeah.
Those reformers. Some of the reformers got rid of the art of the church and just took that out. That's not important. We just sola scriptura. We only need the word of God. And I think they threw the baby out with the bathwater. Is essentially what I think has happened. So
the word became equal to text.
Yeah, and that's such a limiting image. And there is powerful art, and art can do so much, but art is sometimes elusive and sometimes complicated and sometimes messy, and we don't always do well with those things in the church. We don't like messy. We like order, pews, songbooks placed a certain way. That's my seat. Don't sit there.
So we can want to go into a church where you can tell that's how it works, and just sit in the wrong seat.
Oh, I do
Get a
that all
little
the time. I do that all
kind of a
the time.
disturber.
Yeah, I'm going to sit here.
Yeah. You go talk to Jesus about
Yes,
your discomfort.
exactly.
Oh, man. Okay. I knew we were opening something. My brain is just like, so we can't do that because we're going to, then we'll fiddle with lunch, which is Booth's rough equivalent of this is my place, this is my time, don't mess with it.
Yes.
Right. So
It's certainly mine.
let's just acknowledge that. We can be humble, broken about it. We can grow. We also better quit more or less on time.
All right.
Or there'll be a riot. Michael, thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate this. We both do this for fun.
Yeah.
A couple of
Yeah.
introverts talking in public. If you have any particular people